Hey, what's up? It's Stephen A. Williams, President and founder of Blue Book MKE, and let's level up your business. This video here, this is like some very good mindset information I'm going to give you, because something that I caught myself doing and something that you might be doing right now, and it's stopping you from being successful in your business, is that you have this two thought process. Like you it's like your mind is split into two things. Now, just so you know, I want to make you aware of this, is that our mind is actually split two ways. We have a conscious and we have a subconscious mind. Now, the conscious mind is like, I'm going to do this, or that's dangerous. It's like you're consciously aware of your situation. You know, this is like a desk. This is my monitor. Like you know this stuff. But the subconscious, which is more powerful, the subconscious is your computer on the inside of you. The subconscious is like a record that's just playing. You don't have to tell yourself how to tie your shoe after you learned it once. That's in the subconscious mind. You don't have to tell yourself how to put on your clothes. That's in your subconscious mind. You don't have to teach yourself how to eat. That's in your subconscious mind. You don't have to do all of that type of stuff, like retraining, how to drive a car, how to ride a bike. That's in your subconscious mind. And so what we find, this is why this is so important that you become aware of this, is because really, when you think about it, in our mind, this is who we want to be. We want to be this successful person. Consciously, you're like, man, if I could be successful, cars, the vacation, like I want all of that. Like consciously you're thinking about that. But then subconsciously, who you are right now. So no matter how much you tell yourself, no matter how much you try to do things, it keeps coming back to right here. And it really boils down to the fear of failure. Because the fear of failure is expressed in different ways with different people. Like I'm not one of these coaches that'll tell people, hey, everybody fears stuff the same way. No, it is not like that. It's going to be based off of your upbringing. It's going to be based off of what people said to you. It's going to be based off of what you saw. It's going to be based on a whole bunch of different things. I've seen people who are totally not afraid of failure, but they're actually afraid of success. And now let me break that down for you. When you become successful, you might have more responsibilities that you really don't want, but that is buried here. So you could say, I want to be successful, but buried over here is, I don't want all of those responsibilities. Let me tell you some of the responsibilities that I had to accept if I wanted to be over here successful. Well, one of the responsibilities is with just one of my companies, I have 80, I'll put it over on the success side, 80 employees. So think about that. 80 employees. That means that really the decisions that I make, the way that I run the company, all of that stuff, I'm responsible for making sure 80 people are able to make money for their families. Sometimes that can be buried negatively in your subconscious mind to where you want to be over here, but subconsciously you don't want the responsibilities of 80 employees, for that example. But it could be something else. Like it could be totally something that is hidden right here that is stopping you from moving forward over here. And what I want you to do is I want you to identify those things. So write down some things that you might be afraid of. You know, the easy part is losing money. Like people will say, well, I'm afraid of spending my money and losing it. I'm afraid of investing and losing my money, that type of stuff. Or I'm afraid of failing because my family might laugh at me, or they might say, who do you think you are? That's like really, some of that stuff is like the easy stuff to put on there. But this one here, like I just outlined this one here, did you really put that together? Have you thought about that? Like the responsibilities? When you become successful, one of the responsibilities is that you have to continue to be successful. We see a lot of musicians and sports players that make it all the way to the top. Like they've did all the hard work to get to the top. But then what do they always talk about when people get to the top? Is that there's only one other direction and it's going down. So are you ready to have that responsibility to continue going up? I used to have this mindset that it has to be like this. Like I would make a lot of money, then money had to go down. And I think that was just to make myself feel comfortable. So it was like, boy, we had a good week this week. And so that means next week is going to probably go down, or the week after, and then it'll come back up. Don't set yourself up for that. You could just keep rising up, up, and up. All you got to do is just keep putting in the same work. Maybe you have to work a little bit harder or work a little bit smarter, and you'll be able to continue to grow and just keep your eyes on the way that things change. But this is a good thing, a good example, but also a good exercise. That's the word I was looking for. A good exercise that you can put yourself through. Write down the things that you're fearful of, because what it's going to do is that's going to show you who you really think you are. Just write them down. You're all by yourself. Just write them down. You don't have to share them with anybody. Just write those things down. I've done this stuff for myself. Write it down. And then what happens when you write it down is that you become aware of it. A lot of times we're not even aware of how things affect us, but if we're honest with ourselves, we write that down. We can say, okay, I'm going to start dealing with it. Like if you're not consistent, what do you do? If you want to be this person over here, then you have to start being consistent. If you blow your money and you don't save any money and you want to be a successful person, what do you have to do? You have to stop doing it. But now this is what you have to do, because it's in your subconscious mind. Remember what I said, with your subconscious mind, it's automatic. You don't have to teach yourself to do it anymore. You don't have to train yourself or it's just automatically done. So what do you think has been automatically been happening over time for you? For all of us, is that if it's a good habit or a bad habit, it's been playing in our mind like a record. So even when you say, okay, I'm ready to take the responsibility of being successful, to do whatever you have to do that you've identified in your list, when you start to do that at first, it's going to be very, very, very uncomfortable. And it's not uncomfortable because you're doing the wrong thing. It's uncomfortable because in your subconscious mind, it's programmed in there. And anything that you do, anything that you try to do to make changes to that record that has been playing in your mind over and over and over again is going to feel uncomfortable. So if you're afraid of responsibilities, when you start taking more responsibilities, it's going to be uncomfortable. If you're afraid of investing money, because you're afraid that you might lose it, it's going to be uncomfortable. As a matter of fact, this is how the body and mind plays tricks on us. So I'll use this one here as an example. This is a good example. So let's say that you're trying to invest money in yourself, invest it in a business to make some changes. You're like, I'm sick of being fearful. I want to be successful. I see other people doing it. I'm just as good as they are. And you're like, okay, I'm pulling out $10,000. I'm going to do an investment. The first thing that usually happens is that it's going to get very tough. It's going to get very tough. I'm not one of these people that's going to sugarcoat stuff to you. It's going to be very tough. As a matter of fact, when you make that investment, it's probably going to look like it is not going to work. It is not. You're going to think, why did I do this? I shouldn't have spent my money. It's not going to work. Let me tell you the reason why that happens is because you're going to be seeing this side. It's going to be more intensified because your subconscious mind is going to be telling you, it's going to be playing that record saying, this is what we are used to doing. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? But see, this is the thing. Your subconscious mind will just flip because it has no idea of what is right or wrong. It's only doing what you've told it to be doing. I'm going to take a quick drink here. Your subconscious mind is only doing what you've told it to do consistently. It does not know that investing money is good or bad. It just knows that you were fearful of investing money. So what it's going to do is it's going to probably have you pay more attention when you're going to be watching TV and something's going to come up about people losing their money. You're going to be talking to a friend and they're going to say something about losing money. And maybe your investment at the beginning is going to be losing money. But don't let that trick you. This is what tricks people out of becoming successful. All you have to do, well, not all, but part of what you have to do is you have to tell yourself this is what you want. You got to stay focused on this, and you will see that over time, if you remain consistent, your mind will change away from being afraid of investing to being okay with investing. That you understand that investing is a risk, but you also understand like the scales have gotten unbalanced because rather than there being either equal or more balanced on you being fearful of losing money, you understand that I have to put my money at risk to be able to make money. That's like a slight change right there. And the same with responsibilities. You take on more responsibilities, it's going to feel like you're overwhelmed. And all that overwhelming is your subconscious mind is just telling you, we don't normally have this many responsibilities. What are you doing? Are you sure you want to do this? Because you've been telling me this is what you want. But the same thing, your repetition, taking on the responsibilities and just doing it. And yes, you might see something on TV saying people have too many responsibilities because you're focused on responsibilities. On one side, you want more responsibilities because you know that's what you need to do to become successful. But on the other side, that subconscious record was playing and it was saying, you don't want these responsibilities because you've been telling me you don't want these responsibilities. What did I tell you? Well, all you have to do is let it keep playing that you want the responsibilities by doing the work consistently over time, and your subconscious mind will say, we do. We're not afraid of responsibilities. It'll still be there, but it's like we're not afraid of the responsibilities because the scale, remember that scale, it's more heavily weighted towards I need to have those responsibilities to be successful. I mean, think about it this way. With one of my companies that I have 80 employees, and I think we just hired 3 more people. So 80 employees, don't you think that if you're able to pay 80 employees wages, how much money do you think that I would be able to make for myself? So that's how you have to be thinking. It's not thinking about the responsibility. Yeah, that's part of it, but you're building a business. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? So I identified myself as being a person who can employ as many people. This is just where we're at with that business right now. This company here is going on 4 years old, but this is where we're at, and we're going to continue growing because I accept that responsibility, and I accept that to have that responsibility allows me to be more successful. And you need to do that same thing. So write down these things. If you need help with this, I offer coaching services, but I'm not going to be one of these coaches that's going to make it easy on you. You can say that I'll be like Bill Belichick, and I'm going to tell you how it is, and you're going to have to follow it. If you don't like Belichick, I mean, I don't really like the team, but I respect how he, holds people accountable as a coach. And nothing is going to be perfect. Nothing is going to be perfect. But if you can be your best you, don't base it off of me. Don't base it off of somebody else that you see. Don't base it off of your relative. Base it off of you. You know if you're doing your best. If you're not doing your best, you need to get with someone who's going to help you do your best. But then when you get with that person to help you do your best, you listen. You listen. And now you might be saying, well, how do I know if I'm getting the right person to help me do my best? What is that person doing? Has that person demonstrated to you that they're doing their best? Now, I'm not talking about like everybody is doing their best. I'm saying that on their level, are they demonstrating to you that they're doing what they're claiming they're going to train you to do? And that's something that I know that I've done, and I'm hoping that if you get with someone that they've been able to do that. So I'm going to end the video here. If you need help with marketing, you need help with, maybe you need some coaching for yourself to help you get aligned the right way, links are below this video. Maybe you just need a consultation where you want to talk to me and say, Steve, this is what I'm going through with my business. What would you do? Just tell me, what would you do? I'll give you some information on that. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe to the channel, post your questions and comments. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and Founder of Blue Book MKE, and let's level up your business.